behind that. A sort of an epic failure. But anyway, so we've already, just to review again, we've already talked with Selfie. She asked the question, what was the most important to you? And I chose what I think Sora would choose, and that is being number 1, especially in Kingdom Hearts 1. So the next question would be, what do you want out of life? So first choice is to see rare sights. Second, to broaden my horizons. Third, to be strong. Amongst the three, I think most of the time among these 3 questions, the third choice, I don't think that's the right choice for all of them. So it's between to see rare sights and to broaden my horizons. Because clearly, the reason why Sora, Kairi, and Riku started their journey to leave Destiny Islands was to see something beyond that. But I think the second choice would not be a Sora choice, actually. At least Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora choice. Maybe post Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora choice. Definitely something he'll be picking, starting from Kingdom Hearts 2. Otherwise, I think the second choice is more of a Riku choice. There. But yeah, I think the proper choice here would be for Sora, if he's gonna choose here, with this one. I think Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora is more or less kind of represents how a child thinks. So, in some sense, do you think children really are grabbed by appearance? So yes, to see rare sights. I think that would be his first choice. And then next we have as cheetahs. Cheetah in Japanese. What are you so afraid of? Getting old, being indifferent, being indecisive. Again, I think third choice is the right answer here for thinking in how Sora thinks. I do think the first 2 are actually more or less the right choices. As to the reason why, if I recall, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 1, especially Kairi again mentions this actually, and I think at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 was it both Riku and Sora thought once they got home here in Destiny Islands, change was a big thing to them. Kairi didn't want Sora and Riku to change. She didn't want things to change here, and yet we know that's not possible. That's what the journey is. It's transformation. It's a change. So in some ways, do you think this would be the right choices, either of these? Because in some ways, Sora and Kairi reflect each other more or less. And Kairi showed fear over change. So I think getting old would be right. I know it sounds funny, getting old, but remember, it's Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora. And in some ways, this is usually a concern of a child when thinking about change. Some of them, well, I think a lot of children would like to be older so they can do whatever they want. But in some cases, some children do think like that. They don't want to do the hard work. I don't think Sora's like that. Actually, on second thought, I think being indecisive was the right one. It's probably me, but yeah, being indecisive. So why is that? I don't think Sora is actually afraid of change. It was kind of Riku wanted change. And for Sora, I don't think that really concerns him. Adventure begins at dawn. As long as the sun is shining, your journey should be pleasant. Sounds good. Oh yeah, I think Nomura mentioned that, right? Yozora was meant to be like an opposite of Sora. Because Sora is not represented with the night sky. Yozora was the one represented with the night sky. So I don't think Nomura really thought of Sora here as a night guy. More like a sunny guy. A blue sky guy, even though he's wearing red. Let's see. Okay, we're here and finally in the planet. So, Snow White symbolizes the start of the adventure, the start of the fall. Again, it's the start of an adventure, in some sense. The eating of the forbidden fruit. Cinderella represented a dream. And Sleeping Beauty, again, reminds us that it is but a dream. On the platform of the three princesses, that's in the silhouette, it represents divinity. So yeah. So again, we're reminded here that we're still asleep. Oh, sorry, still asleep. Hi there, Misa! Pardon for my awkwardness. Hi there, American. Welcome to the stream. Okay. You should go to sleep. I mean, you're probably living in Asia, right? So it's nighttime over there. Here in America, it's lunchtime. Past afternoon. So but yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream around 2 or 3, so but yeah, anyway, I'll go ahead with the symbolisms of the game. Sorry if I sound awkward. Thank you! Okay, so 2 a.m. I think you really should go to sleep. It's fine. But here, okay, so Sora, again, we're, okay, so at the very beginning, recall how in the very beginning, Sora falls deeper and deeper into, the first platform breaks, right, and keeps falling again with the second one. But then the third one, the fourth one I mean, the Sleeping Beauty one, he starts to rise up. Again, it's symbolic of he's starting to wake up again. He goes upstairs. By the way, stained glasses, again, are Christian art. It's not really common in other... I don't think I've seen it in other religions. Other than... I don't want to mention it. Probably get killed, but... Islamic, at least I've read from some articles, Islamic culture also has this. But the difference between Islamic art and Christian art is that Islamic art sort of forbids the representation of God as person. So in some sense, the stained glass here really does represent Christianity more. Look at that, there's persons around here. And here in the last platform, It's fine. So. I'd say I could probably use this to make you sleep, huh? I mean, probably just gonna ramble around here. So anyway, you could probably rewatch the stream too. There's that. Listen to it while you're working on something. But I'm probably gonna be an awkward commentator. Not really used to talking a lot. But anyway, on the last platform we have Beauty and the Beast, actually. And just like I said, there's like a running theme of change in Kingdom Hearts, the transformation. Recall. And recall the Beauty and the Beast, especially Beast. He represents. My English is also poor. Don't mind. Don't mind it. But anyway, Beast represents the Beast represents transformation because initially he was mad. So again, it represents again a fallen state when he transformed into a beast. So in some ways, this is the last stage of completing Sora's transformation. Although actually, I mean, the symbol of the platforms, they're probably there in order of release date from the Disney movies, but in some sense, it's still, instead of using random symbolic stained glass, it's fascinating more than the Kingdom Hearts staff did this. Beauty and the Beast again reformed. Like I said, it refers to transformation, and I've mentioned on the first stream that I cut off. I've mentioned that the opening kind of really sort of looks like baptism. So in some ways, because baptism is transformation, so it matches along with the final platform there. Oh, by the way, I'm playing the game in Japanese.
Oh, wow. 脅かすなよカイリー。
そっちが勝手に驚いたんじゃない。そろそろサボる頃だと思ったんだよね、空は。
違うって、あの真っ黒いやつが俺を飲み込んで息ができなくなって言って。
まだ目が覚めない？
夢じゃなくて夢だったのかな。知らない世界でさ、変な場所でさ。
はいはい。
なあカイリー、カイリが子供の頃にいた町ってどんなところだった？
覚えてないよ。前にも言ったでしょ。
思い出したかと思って。
全然。
帰りたくならないか？
So fun. Didn't really bother.
私はここで幸せだ
The
から。
gender, so.
そうか。
でもね、
Yeah, I'm a girl.
見てみたいって気がするな。
俺も
And
見
they
たいん
didn't
だよ
bother
な。
revealing it in the next.
この世界以外にも世界があるんだ。
Get
死
to
ぬ
the
まで
avoid
には
avoid
絶対
stuff.
見たい。
じゃあ一緒に行こうね。
おいおい、俺は仲間外れかよ。しかも真面目にイカダ作ってるのは俺だけだ。
おっと。
カイリも一緒にサボってたろ。
バレたか。じゃあみんなで仕上げちゃおう。ね、向こうまで競争。
なんだよそれ。
よーいドン。
So we got our principal characters, Sora, Riku, Kai. Again. Sora means either sky or heavens. Sora means either sky or heavens, Riku earth, and Kairi ocean. they both again symbolize, especially Sora and Riku's name, they both symbolize divinity. Riku not as much, but Sora definitely. Sora's name is definitely associated with divinity. Earth, what comes after heavens. And with the case of water, Kairi's actually is a very special case. Earth and water are both feminine symbols. They both represent the yin. Only Sora represents the yang here. But the difference with earth and water is that earth is the, I guess, the stable aspect of the yin. In some ways, what has always been a thing. And water is a symbol more or less chaos, because it doesn't really have a stable form. So it's sort of the chaotic part. I feel like it's sort of forbidden to talk about this now, but these are very, very ancient symbols, and in ancient times, femininity is often associated with chaos, while masculine with order. But chaos is not necessarily bad, because for humanity is not infinite. Humans are finite. So in some sense, order, what humans establish order, it's not actually permanent, because they're not God. They can't see everything. Humans are not God, so they cannot see everything at all. So it's, in some ways, chaos is there to bring up again that there are still things that we don't know of. So yeah, I don't think they're necessarily bad. There's like an interplay between chaos and order, definitely. Again, it's a representation of yin and yang. So I find it fascinating. But let me change my configuration here. More used to the inverted settings. And that's about right. So let me talk to the characters first and see what they think of. After this, I'll load my save file just to skip over the grinding part. Sorry to feel lucky today. Let's go for a fight. One fight. Ah! Sorry if I'm bad at this game. There's sort of a lag. I tried playing this last time, but yeah, way better. Match. Oops. I'm a button manager. Like I said, I don't really play this like as a professional. I play Kingdom Hearts for the story. There's a story in it. But again, I think I've mentioned it before on my Twitter account. The way to actually understand Kingdom Hearts stories that don't really read it in a materialistic manner. You don't understand the story in a materialistic manner, but since it talks a lot about metaphysical things, you have to understand it in that layer, more or less. Let's go talk with Sophie. It's sort of a shame that Tidus and Waka haven't really appeared since Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. That's wrong. What do I do? Pardon if there's a delay in my chat. Actually, it's far easier to time pairing to this, but with Sophie, especially the loopy thing, it's difficult for me to carry that.
Oh, お前らも来たのか。
So, sure, let's play.
さてやってるか。はっお来たどうだ。そりゃはっ
They call it easy.
どうだ。
Right, we go. We don't really know that because there's no dual audio for Kingdom Hearts. Dual audio, I think, only started with the PC version, right? For Kingdom Hearts 3. So we don't actually hear their voices. That's the reason why we don't we don't really have the dual audio. They actually changed the mouth time to conform to the English version. But that's why dual audio isn't really a thing for Kingdom Hearts. Because the timing will be off, more or less. You get everything you need for the raft. I gave my stuff to Kai. Sora, how about you? Sorry, no time now. Let's go. Let's go talk to Kai first before we do it. Together. Yay! What is that? Here's what we need: 2 logs, 1 cloth, 1 rope. Bring everything back here. Just need help. If you need help, just ask. No more slacking, okay? Okay, let's go reboot. Here. Oh, get on this here.
どうだ。
どうしたソラ、もう終わりか。
For the fourth head, avoid it.
どうだ。どうだ。
Kingdom Hearts 4. Probably the beginning. But I'm not sure if we're still gonna. We can still roam this Destiny Islands around. I mean, there's probably not much to do here. Yeah, I know, right? Especially with the Unreal Engine.
どうしたソラ、もう終わり。ほらよ。
どうだ。
どうしたソラ、もう終わりか。
どうだ。
You know, I don't think it's a good idea to play against Riku on level 1. Takes longer to defeat him.
どうしたソラ。 そりゃえいやそりゃそりゃ
はっへ
まだまだだなそりゃ
たへ
どうだそりゃ
The proper counting.
そりゃほらよ
Yeah! No wonder it was ramping up in the speed. Alright, we got that. Yeah, more or less. Because the Final Fantasy characters haven't really been that much important anymore. Once after Birth by Sleep. Seems like save. I thought there's a load option here. It's only a save option. So we might have to restart. Is there any way to exit? I know. But the Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. Oh man, that keeps getting delayed. But anyway, let me restart the game and load from a different save file. Didn't expect that. Stop. And I'm actually... What's this? I'm actually using an emulator, so I have the game with me, but I don't want to bring out my PS4 and set it up here. So I'm going for an emulator. Plus, there's a Japanese version of it, so yeah, for Destiny Islands. Definitely. The emulator crashed. As to the reason why I'm using an emulator and not the PC version. Yeah, I've restarted the emulator. I'm using an emulator because I don't want to go Windows. I'm using Linux. And in Linux, I've tried the PC versions in here. And it turns out the game plays, but for Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2, especially using the old engine, the games don't actually work. The game, you can play the game, but in Linux, but the videos won't play. Scenes that uses actually videos. So we're skipping a lot of things if I'm playing the PC version in Linux. And I don't want to use Windows, so I'm going with this. Okay, let me load the save file. So I'm level 17 there. Did I actually pick up the things right here? Let me take a look first. Don't actually remember whether I... Yep, the Linux cannot play the PC. No, the Linux can play the PC, but if you're only looking for gameplay, then yeah. but it can't play some of the videos, so we're skipping out on a lot. But for Kingdom Hearts 3, only Kingdom Hearts 3 is completely playable on Linux, I think, if I recall correctly. Okay, got that, I got that. Already got most of the materials. As to the reason why Linux can't play the movies, it's because of a direct GitHub account mentioned it. Yeah, let's go home. They mentioned because of the DirectX switching.
海の果てまで行ったらカイリーの元の世界があるんだよな。
それはわからない。でも行ってみないとわからないままだ。
イカダでどこまで行けると思う？
さあな。ダメだったら別の方法を考えるさ。
ねえ、リクは別の世界に行ったら何するの？空みたいに見れば満足？
実はそんなに考えてない。ただ俺たちがどうしてここにいるのか知りたい。他に世界があるのならどうして俺たちはここでなくちゃダメだったんだろう。他に世界があるのならここはそう大きな世界の小さなかけらみたいなものだから。どうせかけらだったらここではない別のかけらでも構わないわけだよな。
わかんね
え。そういうことだ。
Yep,
じっと座っていても何もわからない。自分で動かないと何も変わらない。同じ景色しか見えないんだ。だから動くんだ。
リクっていろんなこと考えてるんだね。
カイリーのおかげさ。カイリーがこの島に来なかったら俺何も考えていなかったと思う。ありがとうカイリー。
なんだか照れるな。
Yep.
ソラ、お前これが欲しかったんだろ。
パオプの実？
その実を食べさせ合った二人は必ず結ばれる。どんなに離れていてもいつか必ず。試してみたかったんだろ。
何？
Yeah, definitely it's Riku and he still was a Junibyo, but... Huh. This... Definitely powerful. You know, it's fascinating how Goofy and Donald have statues there. New Pokemon. I wonder how people can understand Donald in Japanese. Can't even understand what he's saying. I mean, Goofy, Donald! Goofy's easier to understand, but Donald, no.
ミニ王妃デイジーも おはようございます。
Right? Donald's Japanese. I can't even understand what he's saying. But anyway, so let's review the the scene before. Again, as I think I've mentioned before, right? Earth and water are feminine symbols, but as to why Earth is represented here as Riku, another way of understanding Earth too is compared to water. Earth is sort of a masculine part in terms of water, in a way. But if we're looking at symbols, especially if we're referring to Earth is represented by a man. In terms of divine symbols, yeah, Earth can be represented also as a man, more or less. And it treats the relation between, yeah, that's why it's really the focus here is Riku and Sora's relationship, especially in the next games. It's because in some ways, heaven is, again, represented God. And in the case of Earth, it's in some ways representative of the material reality. And for us, mankind is also part of the material reality. So Riku really represents mankind in a way. And Sora, definitely what is divine. If we're looking things at a low resolution. But yeah, that. And regarding the fountain, it's also fascinating that the fountain is shaped like a star. And Kyrie will mention it once you talk to her in day 2. So yeah, we'll get to what's the meaning really of the star in the Kingdom Hearts games. And again, it's an ancient symbol, more or less. Where's Tidus? Alright, he's over there. Yeah, let's talk
ソ
to
ラ
him.
はパオプの実のおまじないって試したことある？大切な人とパオプの実を食べさせ合うと二人がどんなに離れてても必
Chat is
ず
slow.
結ばれるんやって。はあ、ロマンチックやね。
If I put it
いつか試してみたいわ。
if I put it in a low latency, the stream will lag, so sorry if the chat is delayed. My computer isn't really hooked up to an Ethernet cable, so it's a poor streamer fact. Poor streamer thing, really. I mean, I have an Ethernet cable and the router, but the router is in another room, and I can't just make a hole in the house to put my computer, to put my Ethernet cable in there. So the chat will be slow. Sorry about that.
実はな、今日はティーダたちと探検に来たんだ。ほれ、あの木の根元にある秘密の場所さ。あそこには絶対なんかあるぜ。
Probably. You should probably drop some of your comments, I guess. That's pretty good. But oh, there's an icon top. strange. But here, day 2 we really do see in some way, right? Yeah, go ahead and sleep, Misa. You don't have to watch the stream. It's going to be late there. Anyways, most of my stream will be around this time. Except on weekdays. I'll probably stream on the weekdays too. So it will be a morning stream in Asia. Okay, bye bye Misa. So again, if we recall the where was my running thought here? So if you recall correctly, you know, it's funny after Riku mentioned about Paupu, these folks here started talking about things relevant to Sora and Kairi's relationship. I know. I'm staying in America right now. Bye-bye, Lisa. But yeah, getting back to my thought process. It's funny how Tito, Swaka, and Selfie mention things relevant to Paupu and to the relationship of the trio. It goes to show again that Sora's an underdog in some ways.
Sora も結構強くなったけど、リクに比べたらまだまだっすね。
There you go.
この前なんか3対1だったのにやられちゃってさ。カイリもリクを頼りにしてるんじゃないかな。
So yeah, there you go. Again, shows again the remember one of the questions asked in the beginning of the game by Selfie, right? One of the things important to Sora that I felt like was being number one. So again, you see here that there's sort of a friction within the group. So yeah, keep in mind, Riku, because there's like two scenes here, right? Two end day scenes. First was the main focus was Riku, and the second end scene for the second day is focus on Kairi. And there's actually going to be a stark contrast in what they talk about. The main thing to point out with Riku's conversation was that he wanted change, which is very. I'll talk about it later. It's very, very fascinating. At which point, the Paupu, you get a Paupu fruit, a symbol of divinity, shape of star, again, the heavenly symbols, moon, star, and the sun. They're almost always going to be a representation in religion. For the West, especially Christianity, and even prior to Christianity, the sun, the symbol of Apollo. There's like I mentioned Egypt before as well, like Aten. So yeah, there's two ways to see, in some way, God. Typically in the West, we understood God as the sun. Then we also have the Islamic symbol. I'm really not comfortable talking about Islam simply because I don't really know much about it. I just know things of it in the surface level, but even the symbol of Islam, see the moon and the star symbol with them. the premise of religion. They talk about, again, divinity. It's not the divinity of man, but the divine, right? So I don't think Islam believes in the divinity of man. So there's that. But those are very, very ancient symbols. Yeah, they're sort of a representative of what's ultimate in a sense. The sun reveals everything, makes you see what there is. But during the night, it would remind you that there are things that you couldn't see. Sometimes you can only see a glimmer of things. That's why there's the sun and the moon and the stars. You can only show a few things to man. So yeah. Keep in mind those. Summons. He's here. I was gonna ask for Kyrie just see it in here. Okay, next task. Your raft's almost ready. All you have to do now is load it with food. Hey, have you seen Riku? Yeah, he was right over there. With regards to... Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'll hold my peace for that. Hey Sora, a raft still needs a name. See about whatever the default is. I'll go by with default. You guys said it again? Alright, I'll be the judge. Take the usual rules apply. Take any route you want. First one to tag the tree and make it back here wins.
俺が勝ったら船長な。お前が勝ったら
カイリとパープの実食べる。
はい
いだろ。勝った方がカイリとパープの実を食べさせ合うんだ。
何って。
いい？位置について。
It's nice that Riku whispered here. As if Kairi couldn't hear it. I'm gonna win here, I'm not gonna lose. I'm gonna lose to Riku. Oh, thanks. Eesh, careful. I beat that! Going this path. I Oh, look at that, look at that. Okay, so let's talk to Kairi again. Should be making something here. He's not. Guess let's go grab more food materials, I guess. Yeah, it's... I forgot what I wanted to talk about the top of food. Other than the shape of the star, that's the why it connects others, as Selkie mentioned. I don't exactly remember. Not sure how to interpret. Oh gosh. Seriously? Do I have to get all of the materials to get to that conversation with Irish? Okay, let's just go grab those materials then. Did you say 4, 3 fish, some mushrooms? Yeah, first try.
いけたどうだたはへや
How many confidence?
いけ
There you go, the last one. Where's the other mushrooms? Oh yeah, here. It's a shame we're not bringing back apple fruits in the journey. No, did I miss anything? One seagull and 3 mushrooms, 2 coconuts, 3 fish. Fill this up with drinking water. Oh, I didn't do that. That's why. Wait, let's ask her again. Let's sing things around. It is lag off this time. Let's see. What's those? 2 mushrooms, 1 fish. Fresh drinking water. 2 mushrooms. Where's the other mushroom other than the cave? That's the last thing we'll go to. That was a good idea. I don't remember what the other mushroom was. Yeah, we'll fight. No, I'm gonna fight later. Is there like a fish around here? There you go. Little fishy. Hey, 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 hey.
ta
Okay, there's nothing there. What's the other thing? Mushroom. Gosh, no. I don't remember it. Ah, finally, the scene. Oh, it's right here, right here. Before I go to that. Yeah, before I forget. Let's talk to Kyrie. This I'm making a necklace of thalassa shells. In the old days, sailors always wore thalassa shells. They were supposed to ensure a safe voyage. See this. It's a charm to help us find each other if we ever get separated. And umamori. This one is clearly a Japanese thing though. So I don't think a protective charm ever was a thing in. I mean, in Asia it's a thing. From where I grew up, we sort of have that, but it's not something like it. It's not something like you make on your own, like umamori. It's more like something you get from nature. Three of us will always be together. So despite the Christian symbols around Kingdom Hearts, despite the Christian symbols around Kingdom Hearts, there's still very Japanese things around here. That could, obviously, it's made in Japan. Seems like the angle of the camera still matters, huh? Okay, we'll get to the final cutscene and we'll call it over. Unless the problem is the fish. I don't think so. Did I? Secret place. No, I wonder if the drawings in the cave is actually all of Sora and Kairi's drawings. Because it would be strange if there were no other kids who did that. Oh, what is that? I mean, some of them probably broke the fourth wall. Look at this. I don't think it's this one would be this one. I don't think these are. These are what Sora and Kairi would draw. But this one, that's definitely Riku. Fascinating. Some of the art would probably foretold things from the staff. Final mushroom.
誰？
この世界の扉を見に来た。
は？
この世界はつながった。
あんた何言ってるんだ？
闇とつながった世界。間もなく光を失う世界。
気味悪いこと言うなよ。誰だか知らないけどな。
気味悪い。
あんた
You say don't say bad stuff.
お前がまだ知らぬ扉の向こ
う。他の世界から来たんだな。
Not
お
exactly.
前には何もわかるまい。お前は何も知らない。
俺はこれからいろいろ知るんだよ。準備だってしてるんだからな。
何も知らない者が何を見てもそう
One who knows nothing can
何も
understand.
理解でき
Well, that's a
ない。
very important quote there. So why that's an important quote. That's actually, again, one of the basic foundations of metaphysics. It's in Latin, if I recall the quote correctly. It's ex nihilo fit. From nothing comes out of nothing. That means is that there's absolute, again, I mentioned it in my grounding video, absolute nothingness cannot exist. For absolute nothingness does not have any potential for anything at all. There's none at all. That's why I think some scientists who argue for some scientists, actually, not all scientists, some atheists under a scientific understanding of reality, they make one mistake on one of their arguments. That mistake is to assume vacuum is a nothing. An empty vacuum is a nothing. Absolute nothing. Which is false. An empty vacuum is still a something. Fluctuations in electromagnetic or some kind of quantum fluctuations, there's still a something. That's why it's easy to sort of disprove atheists on that basis. But in some cases, it brings a questionable thing with regards to the Christian claims. If ex nihilo fit, if nothing comes from nothing, which is an impossible thing, the Christian claim of God created out of nothing, it's easy to actually fall into the trap. God created out of nothing. And for people who don't understand what that means, they would actually assume that God had created from nothing. Again, nothingness could not exist. So that's why it's called a mystery, especially in, I think that's why, I think, not that I'm stating it's the official thing, but here's what I understand. I think the reason why the clergy or the church say it's a mystery is we're not supposed to mention it from. If God created from nothing and nothingness does not exist, where do you think creation did come from? Really? I mean, there's the argument of what is that? I forgot the name of one of the. I forgot the name of it. I guess one of the religions out there. One of what they mentioned was prior. I think it was the Mormons. I don't remember. The things that they mentioned. No offense. But if we're logically thinking, one of the things that they mentioned was that prior to God, there was already matter. There was material that's also pre-existing. I mean, they have a point, but if it's separate from God, then God is not ultimate yet. There's still something that's before God. So their logic does not make sense. So how to solve that issue, actually? Again, the reason the church is not supposed to say it in some way. The official church clergy. I think the reason how to solve God created out of nothing is that He didn't create from nothing. He created from Himself. Meaning, if I understood it correctly, we're made out of God. God's image. But there's there's going to be a lot of like theological debates about that. And I'm not an expert on it, but that's what I understood. So it's not like God created out, like created from himself. At least from what I understood. And they're probably a heretic with my understanding. Again, I don't have any formal education in theology or philosophy, so hey. But that's my solution to the problem, more or less. Created from him. But we're given, but we're not God in a sense. So we're given that free choice to choose between nothingness or God. That's only actually a choice. So in some ways the world is a binary. It's God or nothing. It's good or evil. But with the way how man works, again, our fallen. That's why I think Christianity has a very, very good explanation about it. Although they explain it in a symbolic way, they kind of give a reason as to why the world is like this. There's perfection, and then there's nothing. So in the middle is imperfection. So mankind is imperfect, and the explanation that Christianity gave was because of fall. Genesis, the Genesis account. And I think Genesis actually isn't really... I don't think Adam and Eve are real humans in a sense. I think that's a misunderstanding of things. I think, in some sense, Adam and Eve are divine principles. They're basically yin and yang personified. And person does not necessarily mean humans like this. That's why Kingdom Hearts is a good game actually, to tell you what a person is. Does it really say to you? But when you play the game, you have Donald, Mickey, and all the other Disney characters and other characters that are not non-human-like. But would you say they're not persons? They're persons, right? That's the difference between persons and humans. There's something beyond that's intelligible, someone can understand, someone can know. So yeah, I don't think Adam and Eve were necessarily humans, but I think they were definitely the divine principles, or imitation of the divine principles. The yin and the yang. So Eve being the first one to eat the fruit does not necessarily mean women are bad, no. I think the story meant that the first one to fall, the first one to desire is existence. Again, yin represents existence, that's what the feminine represents. That is feminine that births in our reality. And then after Eve, Adam eats the fruit. So the next one after existence, the fall is transcendence. The imitation of transcendence and existence. So they're the first one to fall. That's I think what the Genesis account. That's what the Genesis account means. So yeah, I don't think you can easily say that they're human persons, but in some ways I think really represents the imitation of the divine. Because the divine God is the perfect human. The perfect one. can see in other religions, they mention this. The One. That one principle defines reality. But Christianity again explains that God is not merely principle and impersonal force. God is a personal force. But he has logos. He still has patterns. In philosophy, all that moral law. Trying to avoid the word natural law because of the implications about the word nature these days. But yeah, more or less, moral law. C.S. Lewis gives an explanation about it. Again, in ancient times, even in the West, most of what people understand that who are the chosen ones, like Israel, the way they understood God was an impersonal force. That's the Logos, again, Tao. If you look up Logos and Tao, they truly match. Their principle of change, the principle of stasis, the principle of order, divine order. That's what I think. Truly, especially if a civilization reaches its utmost height, or a society civilization reaches that, they start to think that the divine principle is just a principle, a personal force, but that is God. That's what they think of it. But for civilizations that start at a basic, it's at the basic level, the tribal societies, they still retain, at least from the ones that heard, they still retain that. I know they understood this. They understood that there's, again, the divine principle, but they still retain that personal aspect, the person aspect to the divine principle. But it seems to disappear as a civilization rises up. Christianity actually brought the person back to the divine principle. But the explanation how the divine principle, personhood of God, personhood of God, unites, C.S. Lewis gives a good account to that. But anyway, that's why it's fascinating. I think the English translations will capture it. Actually, the Gospel of John, the first few lines. That's the reason truly why I started believing in Christianity. Remember, if you actually look at my tweets before, I didn't actually trust Christianity. I thought the God that they believed in was a Zeus entity. But yeah, it turns out the translation, the original word for the word, capital W word, was actually Logos. And I learned in my philosophy class the word Logos, and I read that from my professor's book. It exactly describes the Tao. So very, very fascinating. So the Chinese translation of the Bible actually translates Logos as Tao. Tao is God. It's no coincidence, by the way, that the apostles, right, or the ancient people who wrote, especially the Gospel of John, it's no coincidence that the writer chose Logos to say that God is Logos. Come on, divine principle. They're not going to use that. If that's not what they meant, then why would they use that? It's obvious that Logos means the divine unity. So yeah, more or less, that's why Christianity actually starts to make sense once you think God is the Tao, God is the Logos. But what you didn't understand, what only Israel understood, was that Israel understood that there's some sort of personhood behind God. But in Christianity, that's where it gets completed. There's the personal aspect of God. As to the reason why, because the narrative of Christianity, yeah, the narrative of Christianity. How do you say that? That God becoming man would reveal to us. There's truly, firstly, that there's the will behind God. He's not just a law. There is person, and He chose to become man to reveal to us what is the way to become God. Become like Him. Makes sense, right? Does it? Of course, that's what Christianity's goal is. Christianity's goal is divinity. Just as what, if you've read a lot of, there's a lot of Japanese manga, Chinese manga, and Chinese manhwa, and Korean manhwa, that especially fantasy stories. You can find it in, what was that, the new genre? Shansha genre. The act of man becoming divine. You can find that. And they're not really, except for Korea, these characters aren't really Christian cultures. Yet there's still that desire to become divine, expressed within others. And it's very, when you look at Western history, ancient Western history, there's a lot of people who wanted to become like God. Alexander the Great, for one, is son of Zeus, wants to be a divine being. But of course, he dies, doesn't get resurrected because his path has fallen. The way. The Tao is way, by the way. It's all connected. So yeah, more or less. As to the reason why I'm connecting this, I don't know, it's my theory. It's probably going to be revealed to us by the end, no more every at the end of the series. It's probably going to be revealed to us that Kingdom Hearts be able to communicate with Sora. Wait, yeah, the person of Kingdom Hearts. That, or it would reveal to us truly what is the belief of the author. So yeah, my theories. I rambled on for too long, but yeah, let's get to it.
ちょっと変わったね。
どこが？気のせいだよ。
ねえ、このままイカダに乗ってさ、2人だけで行っちゃおっか。
え？
なんてね。
突然どうした？カイリの方が変わったんじゃないか？
かもね。海の向こうに行くの少し怖かったけど、今はワクワクしてるんだ。どこへ行っても何を見ても私必ずここに帰ってこれるでしょ。
任せとけよ。
よかった。空は変わらないでね。
え？
海の向こう行けるといいね。楽しみだね。
Yeah, let's pause for that. Okay. So keep it in mind. Riku wanted change, and Kairi didn't want change. Fascinating. I like it. Because in some ways it's very kind of the opposite of what Riku and Kairi symbolize. Riku, like I said, earth, water are feminine symbols. But with the case of earth, it can also be represented by a man. If we're talking in some ways like that. Earth symbolizes usually stubbornness. It's an ability to change. But water, its ability to change. To change shape, to conform to whatever shape it's placed onto, or container it's onto. So it's very, very fascinating how Riku and Kairi's views are very different. Riku wants change and Kairi doesn't want change. Of course, Sora here sort of He doesn't really give out his opinion. It's just that he just agrees with Kairi. But although change is a running theme of the series as well, we do understand that Sora did change, aside from growing up physically. In some ways, he changed over the course of Kingdom Hearts 1 until Kingdom Hearts 2. So change is an avoidable aspect of reality again, once more. Something that Kairi is false about. So in some ways, Kairi is not a perfect being. She's afraid of change. Despite being heart of pure light. There's only one purest of pure light, the divine light, aka Kingdom Hearts. So again, since they're embodied beings, there's going to be imperfection within them. Although not necessarily of darkness, the intent of becoming nothing. That's not the case. But yeah, it's a very rare thing that Kairi just more or less disproven regarding her desire. Disproven, that would be the right word. Sora, but what didn't change? But in some ways, Kairi still got what. Did she got what she wanted? There's still some parts that didn't change. Well, I guess that's desire. Put it that way. Not sure why, but the stars have been blinking out one by one, and that means disaster can be forethought. I hate to leave you all, but I've gotta go check into it. There's someone with the key to our survival, so I need you and Goofy to find him and stick with him. Got it? Need that key. So go to Traverse Town and find Leon. I'll point you in the right direction. P.S. Would you apologize to Minicore? Thanks, ma'am.
一体何が起きているのでしょう。
今は王を
man.
信じるしかありません。
Whose voice was that?
王
Daisy?
様一人で大丈夫かな？
Daisy's voice sounds wifely. My type of voice. Donald's pretty lucky.
二人ともありがとう。
大丈夫。あなたこそしっかりね。
そうだわ。旅の記録役に彼を連れてお行きなさい。
Mini sounds stereotypical.
ここですよ。どうも。地味にクリケットです。
王を助けてあげてね。無事を祈っています。
それじゃあ地味に君のいた世界も消えてしまったの？
皆離れ離れになり、私だけがこの城にたどり着いたというわけで。
わかってるよ。この城の外では僕たちがよその世界から来たことを明かしてはいけない。お互いの近所を守るために。そう、秩序を守るために。向こうに着いたらこの服も着替えなくっちゃね。
の向こう行けるといいね。楽しみだね。
嵐。やばい、イカダが。
空ご飯よ。降りてらっしゃい。空
We only ever heard that voice once. Okay, let's finish this up.
なんだありゃ。リクの船と帰りも来てるのか。
Actually, I've always wondered why. Alright, I can attack him. I've always wondered why Riku and Kairi came to the island this at the night. It's so strange to me. I've read that the novel mentioned
リク、帰り
that
は
they got. I remember it. Yeah, novel mentioned, the light novel mentioned that Riku and Kairi got here earlier than Sora, but I have my suspicions. The game didn't really explain why they were here earlier than Sora, unless Sora lives in a far off area of the main island. But if I were to guess an alternate theory, I think Riku probably told Kairi earlier. Like, didn't Riku meet or met Ansem the Wise? Gosh, my memories are off about it. I don't remember actually. I'm probably confusing things with Xehanort and Riku. But I thought Riku met Ansem earlier. Didn't he? Or was that Xehanort? I don't remember.
一緒じゃないのか。
扉が開いたんだ。
リク、
扉が開いたんだよ、空。俺たち外の世界へ行けるんだぜ。
何言ってるんだよ。それより帰りが。
帰りも一緒さ。扉をくぐればもう帰ってこられないかもしれない。父さんや母さんには二度と会えないかもしれない。でも恐れていては何も始まらない。闇を恐れることはないんだ。
リク。
Tell me, is Riku's story really as the story of mankind itself? That's just more of the story. There's the fall of everything. If I were to guess why Kyrie were just I'd probably guess if I'm piecing the scenes. I'd probably guess that Riku told Kyrie to stay here first. Then her. As if, like, not out of, at least I think ordered by ants. He's not Xehanort. I mean, he's a part of Xehanort, but his name isn't there. So yeah, Ansem told me it's called Kyrie. There, that's why they came here earlier. But I don't think that's. I'm not sure if that's really the thing, and I'm not sure if that's the official narrative about it. Yeah, what with my theory that Ansem told Riku to bring Kyrie with him in here, and and expect Sora to come with them. I think that symbolizes, or at least an image that I'm getting from it, is that Riku unwittingly sacrificed Kairi. Oh gosh. It's like there's a sacrificial image to it. But if the light novel is the official story, how close? Yeah. We don't need to to us.
Kairi!
そら
To- I know the dark side was in Sora's story, but the dark side was in Sora's story, but I don't think the dark side is in West's story. That's not really as dark as this one. Because it's revealed here in Kingdom Hearts 1 when you transform to a shadow. Transform to darkness. It's dark as this one. So in this sense, I think the dark side in Sora's heart does not represent him. It represents his fears
Oh,
about the dark.
なんだ、
So to
落ち
speak. His fears things. And we're ending actually here.
とりあえずレオンって人に会わないと。ねえとなると僕の考えではきっとそれもそうだね。
What a missed opportunity.
ウルト置いてくよ。
Well, it's not like Sora brought out his key here, so he wouldn't actually know he's the chosen one here yet.
夢か。あ、夢じゃない？どこだよここ。参ったな。お前知ってるか？あ、おい。
Okay, so I'm ending my stream here more or less. Let me enter and go to save. Because there's still a few cutscenes here. Just totally weird. I'm in another world. I'm Isekai. Sora's Isekai. Yeah, that's how an adventure is. Once you get out of your... That's the symbol of going out of your door. Beyond your home. Beyond your home, there's a world out there. That's what Isekai more or less means. But eventually you go back to your home, don't you? That's why I think the modern Isekais right now are a bit I don't know, sad because they don't go back to their home. It doesn't fully connect anymore. Oh, that's what I think. Oh, it's only a kid. Doing it again. The name's Sora. That's all kids are. Oh, okay, simmer down. So why the long face? Sora, you lost or something. So why the long face, Sora? You lost or something? No. What? Maybe? Where are we? Huh. Traverse Town. So Gramps, is this really an Isekai? Don't call me Gramps, the name's Sid. Anyway, not sure what you're... I actually don't remember how Sid speaks. Not sure what you're talking about. This sure ain't your island. So Gramps, yeah, that's okay. I guess I better start looking for Rick and Kyrie. Good luck with whatever it is you're doing. If you ever run into trouble, you come to me. I'll look out for you. Nice guy. Nice Gramps. But, okay, that's where we end this stream. Well, technically, I didn't expect to finish earlier, but yeah, we're ending from here. The next stream will be tomorrow, and I've used up the link for tomorrow actually. So I'm gonna schedule a new stream. My bad on that one. But yeah, we end here. Part 1, Destiny Islands. Okay, see you folks.